I'm like a dog with two dicks. Yeah, boss man just sat there and just started munching. Nice. Okay, so I've got a feeling the house is just built this way. I mean, I won't lie, it's actually not bad. Oh, are you sure? What goes down like that? I won't just piss on the railway track. That's just a period building. There's a lot of f***ing hurdles to jump over to get this far. Scope it out. The next one is having a door, 100%. Right, I've got the SDS, drill bits, 25mm cutter. All right, I've done that so many times. You spend 10 minutes getting your harness on, getting up to where you want to be, and then you realise you're missing a part and you have to come down again. Welcome back to another day on the boom. Yeah, baby. Our first street light is coming in shortly. Actually, I can't say where it is, I can't say when it is, but it's coming up shortly. It's our first ever head on a street light like those ones. It's not like that one over there, but it's basically, yeah, it's taking the head off and popping a new one on. Simple enough job, but yeah, I'm like a dog with two dicks. Today what I'm doing is actually that's something you guys can help with. The Wi-Fi in this office, we don't have a phone line. It's a 4G router with a SIM card inside it, and basically it's an unlimited SIM for like 20 quid a month, because the cost of getting like BT, OpenReach or somebody to put a line in here and you can't just have a normal private line, you've got to have a business line which is just extra charges and stuff. It's really expensive. So I was like, sod that, we're not doing that, I'll just get a router with an unlimited SIM in it. Happy days. Sarah will be in the office. She's quite grumpy today. She's little Miss Hangry. A couple of you are saying to get tool clamps. So you basically tether the tools to the bucket, which is a really good idea. I just haven't got around to getting any, but I've heard it, noted it, and I will do it. Because I have actually dropped quite a lot of stuff out the basket. It's just learning. So what we're going to do, we've got the router, which sits just in there. The problem is, because this is an industrial unit, it's just metal clad. And if you sit next to the window, you get really good phone reception. Out here, you get full 4G, 5G reception. It's really good. As soon as you step in there, no service. It's really bad. So I want to move the antennas for the router out here so they get reception for the SIM card, but I've got to drill a hole in first. That is the one good thing about this unit. The landlady, I should say, literally couldn't care less what I do to this unit. Fucking hell. Apparently the fire service use these Bosch Cobalt bits because Bosch were promoting it. They use them for like drilling cars and jigsaws and stuff for cutting people out. Well, it's a good job this isn't a burning car because they'd have died by now. Come on, fucking battery's gonna go flat at this rate. Okay, what the actual fuck, really? It's a brand new bit. It's just gonna be easier if I go down and just get a 6mm bit. Okay, that must have just been a blunt bit. I always found a good tip, when these hole saws bite into metal, you get this jaggering here where it first bites, especially if you've got coarse bits like this. I find if you just put it in reverse, just for a little bit, just to make an indent, then it doesn't happen. Right, we're through. I'm going with about 10 seconds before Sarah comes to the window saying, what the f*** are you playing at? Could be less, we'll see. Well, that's it. I'm out of drill bit. That must be somewhere about there. Right, needed a longer drill bit, which I've now got, so we're going to run back up in the bucket and drill this all the way through into the office. But before I forget, that reminds me, Squid Game on Netflix. Anyone watched it? Squid Game? It came up in my recommended the other day, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. It's fucking really good. It's a bit twisted. I mean, it's Korean. It's a bit twisted, but it's brilliantly good. Now, there was a scene, I can't give away too much, but there was a scene where the main character is sat outside with the old fella, and they're sat outside this little bar. It was like a supermarket-y bar thing. The old guy opened up a packet of these, not these exact ones, but he opened up a packet of dried noodles like this. And I've always been under the impression that you boil them, that's what the instructions say to do, but apparently, nice! So yeah, sorry. So they've got these noodles, and basically there's a scene where he just opens them up like so. He literally does this. Some of you may know the scene. I paused it when it happened, and I said to Penny, I was like, what are you doing? And she was like, well, maybe this is the way they do it in Korea. And they just poured it on like that. And yeah, boss man just sat there and just started munching. Now, apparently that is a dish. That is how they do it. Can anyone confirm that? Or is that just something that was in film? Because, oh, you know, just give it a go. I mean, I won't lie, it's actually not bad. Straight up. bit grubby, but yeah, go on, get a bit of that. Try that. That's not totally unpleasant. It's all right, isn't it? It's not bad. I thought that was going to be disgusting. You could literally just have that just on its own. You don't even need to boil it. Yeah, you want noodles, guys. Don't bother boiling them. Just that's really good. That's really good. Try noodles like that from now on. Took my jacket off. It's now raining. Nice. Don't want to pay your bill, huh? No problem. Excellent. Right. Hole drilled. Right. This is the question I wanted to ask. Now this router is a 4G router, right? So you put your SD card, you put your SIM card in, and then you basically have these little antennas like you normally would. But I'm trying to work out, are these antennas for the reception for the 4G, or are they just for your internal Wi-Fi reception? I actually don't know which, and it doesn't say what they do. So I bought some external ones anyway, because I'll just give it a go, just to see. But I don't know whether the 4G is picked up just like on the mobile phone. It doesn't have an external antenna, it's just built into the phone, or are these the antenna? I don't know. Leave it below if you know, but I'm going to put these on anyway, and I'll tell you whether it makes any noticeable difference here or not. I'd really like to put them right up on the roof. But then I heard another thing, because I was thinking, well, what if I got like 20 meters of this and I could neatly clip it underneath, run it all the way up onto the roof and, you know, get a banging signal. But then I heard this stuff, apparently anything over sort of 5 meters, and it's not worth having that antenna because you get lost in the signal cable. And then like if you have like a 20-meter run of this, by the time you plug this in, you've got no signal anyway. So is that true? Can anyone shed any light on that? Because like I was looking online, and just there's like loads of arguments for it and loads of arguments against it, and I don't know. Just put it below, because this actually really interests me. I find it very interesting, radio reception and all this. So I find it really interesting, but I actually don't know a huge amount about how the technicalities of it works. But leave it below if you know. We got our first street head to replace. I am ecstatically excited about it. Eventually all our videos will just be like this. Welcome back to the bucket. I'm not going to bother filling the hole in yet. This is just a test, just to see. Those lights up on the soffit, absolutely banging. They're still going strong, and they actually give off a really nice light. And they were like a really cheap and cheerful brand, some, you know, Ho Young Ping or something, but they're properly really good. It's not racist, is it? Ho Young Ping, Pong Young Dong. It's not perfect, because I don't want to do a absolutely really thorough job here, because I don't even know if this is going to work. This is just a theory. If it does work, I'll take this out again and I'll neaten it up. Perfect. Right. Let's go down and assess the situation. Right, it would appear that with both of these external antennas connected, our download speed has plummeted. We've now got 1 megabit per second. So, my next theory, because I'm not giving up on this idea, maybe one of the antennas is for the 4G and one of them is for the reception on the Wi-Fi on the inside. I actually don't know, I'm just trying. So I've got one antenna. If we do a download speed test now, see what it is, and then we'll swap the antennas over and just try that. We've got like not even a meg now, which means that if those antennas were for the 4G, you'd have a better reception now because they're outside, surely. Right, disconnected the external antennas now and just put the original ones back on. So let's just see. Let's just try and see if there's a difference now. I bet it'll be faster now. It's not good, is it? So basically, well, that was a waste of time. It basically means those external antennas. So those must just be for the internal Wi-Fi. So the 4G is just picked up off the unit. Now we know.
Day 2.
It is rather fresh this morning, but I'm donning the Bosch heated jacket. It's quite nice actually, it heats the front as well. Now, this morning we are off to another callback. I'm wrapping up our callback, so actually a bit more to discuss about this a little later on. We've got one last callback. There's a little alteration we've got to make. That's done, we can get that job closed out, and then I'm coming back here later today. In fact, no, I've got to go over to Arco in Park Royal to pick up some orange workwear for the rail work we're starting very shortly. And yeah, it's all gravy, it's all good. See you shortly. You haven't actually seen this job here, but basically, outdoor plug. He didn't want like a traditional outdoor socket, like a BG one with a waterproof cover, because you can't plug in these Wi-Fi adapters and stuff because you can't shut the lid. So I said, no bother, we'll just fit one of these big grey boxes. The new problem we bumped into is I put a double socket on a back box right in the middle. I figured that would still have been plenty with all of this space here. I figured, you know, there'd still have been plenty of room. There actually isn't. In my haste, I thought there'd be enough room to plug that in, which there is, but then you've got to plug something else on top of that, and it just becomes this really fat accessory on a double socket. So by the time you plug something in, you can't actually shut this door, and I'm like, fucking hell. So this is, yeah, that was actually a mistake of mine, because I allowed for this in my calc, but I didn't allow for putting something in the front of it. So these come with an extension lead, these black extension leads, master plug extensions. I think the fella wanted me just to connect the armoured straight to this. I can't do that because that's just crap. So what I'm going to do, I've already started drilling a hole for it. I'm going to put a single socket in the corner, then the extension lead will sit in the bottom. I'll cut this lead down and that should plug straight in, and that way you've got 3 plugs and you're going upwards instead, so you've still got room. That's the only way I can think of doing it. So give me 5, let me put this all in, and I'll be back in a mo. Right, so I've just had to shoot off to go and pick up a fuse box RCBO because I've got to upgrade one of the fuses in the board. So I just come back to the unit to pick one of those up, and my new boss on this contract we're working on has just messaged me. I'll put it on the screen. Our safety man has rejected your generic as fuck rams. Nice. The fuck. I don't know what I'm supposed to put in these fucking rams. If I work in a manager's office, I will keep it clean. I will make sure I don't leave my steps in a stupid place where someone will trip. I don't know what, but it's all in there. I don't know what I'm supposed to. There's a lot of fucking hurdles to jump over to get this far. The rams that we submitted were a generic. They were a generic set of rams, but I don't know how we're supposed to tailor them any further than they already are. If I need a pee, I will use the toilet. I won't just piss on the railway track. I don't know what, I just don't know. I don't know. Let me finish this job, I'll go back to the unit and we'll look at it together. What I actually would have liked to have done here was taken this sheathing of this armouring, gone into the slimline whisker box first, the little 207s I think. Yeah, the little slim 207s, taken that into a little 207 first, then from there, put a stuffing gland in the top, then taken a flex out from the flex, then go into the plug. Like this, I've taken the sheathing straight into the socket, which I'm not actually, I mean it works, but I'm not a fan of it, but there's just no room. I can't put a whisker box in here and that, because we've got to leave as much room for these Wi-Fi plugs and adapters. So it does make you wonder why manufacturers haven't thought of this, because I mean the guy's got a point. People have Wi-Fi plugs and stuff for garden lights and all this stuff. You've got to be able to design something that's waterproof that can accommodate this, and I couldn't find a bigger box than this. That was the largest box that was, you know, easily openable without the use of a tool. Leave your thoughts below if you know where. I can't think of a way around this because I've got to fuse this down. I have to I can't just take this flex into a whisker box. I've got to fuse it somehow. I can't just have that extension lead, but you need to have some sort of switch. You've got to. So I don't know. That's the only way I can think of doing it. But yeah. Anyway, onto the. I think I'm going back to the office now. So I'll see you over there. This is what happens in reality. The cameraman has to actually remind me what it is we've actually done, because there's just so much going on. It honestly just becomes a blur. Yeah, risks. This RAMS method statement, risk assessment method statement, or whatever it is. We submitted it, and it's just been sent back to me. Quite brutally, actually. You've actually seen it on the screen already. I mean, I feel like I'm a naughty boy that's been sent to the headmaster's office. That's how I feel. Our safety man has rejected your generic as fuck rams. You couldn't just say they've rejected it. You want generic as fuck rams. But the thing is, and this is the problem, like, we're so new to this, doing rams and method statements, risk. It's really tough, I'll be honest. We're learning this at a rate of knots. I mean, I go home and I'm just mentally absolutely shot. We're just trying to pick this up as fast as possible. But it's little things like, you've got to know, you literally got to know regs and rules inside out. And like, I mean, it's so sad. I went home last night and I actually sat down with a copy of the Electricity at Work regs. I sat there and read it. You know, most guys watch porn and stuff. I was sat there reading the Electricity at Work regs. But I've never read it from cover to cover. And to be fair, it is actually quite interesting. I know, I mean, I know I say this, but it's true. Like, I know loads of people sat there, oh, God, I always flick through it and read it. No, you fucking don't. No one ever does. It's that book you pull out once a year when you're having your NIC audit. It's the only time. It's the only, occasionally, maybe if you're in a good mood, half an hour before the assessor turns up, you'll just crease the edges and corners and just spill a bit of coffee on it to make it look like you've actually read it. No one ever reads it. It's just one of those things that gets pulled out in a courtroom when you fuck up. But I'm actually trying to make a real effort and get my head around all of these rules and all of this stuff. So it's very, very mentally taxing, but I'm getting there. And, you know, we've got, so our first orders have come in, which is good. They've rejected our RAMs, but they've just gone back in, all 16 of them. So hopefully that will go through by the end of today. I ordered some flexible Copex, and I thought I ordered 1 pack, and about 20 packs seem to have turned up. So I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm going to cut those open in a second and find out. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to get back to doing this. I'm not sure where the next scene's going to be. We will, what? Oh yeah, well, we're going over to Chalk Farm. See you shortly. Everybody, right, this is the next day. We're back at, I think no one's actually seen, no, okay, I don't think anyone's actually, oh, you sure? Okay, I don't think anyone's seen this place yet. We were doing some work downstairs. And I'm just walking upstairs because we've got a variety. We've got some emergency lights, which you'll see later, which we've got to put in. I don't want to speak bad of these places, but look at this floor. I don't know, if you swap and you go over, you have a look. Your floor goes down like that. If you put a tennis ball there, it will just roll to the side. But like, no one seems to question this. You know, if somebody walks in here, a developer or something, or an estate agent, they'll just look at that and go, oh, it's just a period building, you know? No one will question it. It's just like, you can feel the gradient. It's like the house that Jack built. I mean, that's just... I don't know how well it comes out on cam, actually, to be honest. Okay, so I've got a feeling the house is just built this way. Yeah, I mean, look at the clearance. Look at the gap. I can practically fit my boot under the gap. Yeah, you've got no gap there. You open the door out. It can't, mate, there's no way this could have been built like this from day one. I mean, matey boy, I know he probably didn't have a spirit level, but I mean, you haven't got to be an expert to know that's supposed to be up there. This must have sunk or something. It must have, there's no way you could build it like this. It's a fucking trip hazard. Trip over yourself coming out of the bedroom. The ladies very kindly left me little stickers of what I've got to do. So extra double socket there. We've got a whole variety of stuff that we've got to do here. I think James is in the little electric van. I think he's trying to find parking. So let me go and find him because he's probably 3 miles away over in Abercumston or somewhere. So let me go and find him. Once we've got ourselves set up, we're back in a minute. Just come to get some cable out of the van. Another shiner. You just can't avoid it. It's just, they're like pole vaulters. They just pole vault in, slap a ticket and then disappear. It's just... Right, haven't bothered showing you this bit because it's pretty mundane and boring, but we're actually just in the bedrooms, just cutting in an extra couple of sockets. Apparently, when you take a house to go from a normal house to a HMO, they've got to have a minimum number of sockets per room, which apparently in Camden is 4. I didn't know that, so we're taking the existing one, just cutting in one next to it, just tap off the ring, just a radial to this socket. Happy days. I didn't bother recording this because there's not really a lot of point, but I did do, we do a live, not a live, we did an Instagram story of it, which I'll pop it on the screen now. So yeah, for some of the more, not mundane stuff, but some of the stuff which we don't want to put on YouTube, we'll just chuck it on Instagram, so head over there and yeah, scope it out. Right everybody, now, it's actually Friday, everybody is just about to rock out. James is just upstairs in the office finishing paperwork, Sarah's working from home today, and I'm here on my own. So the antennas for the 4G system, we've got a feeling those are actually the 4G antennas. But what I can't understand, just because this really fascinates me, I'm trying to work it out. We've mounted them up there, you see? It's a bit crude, but you see where we mounted them. Why is it that the reception is worse because surely those antennas now being outside, it should be better. You should get better 4G reception. Why are we not getting that now? Is it because the antennas are too close to the metalwork and it's somehow that's interfering with the performance? I don't know. Those antennas are definitely for the 4G signal, so the signal that the phone tower transmits, that's what those antennas there pick up. But why is it that we're getting worse reception when we put the external antennas on? I don't know. Is it just because those are cheap shit antennas and they only cost us 15 quid and actually I need to spend like 100 quid and get a proper decent roof mounted one? Put it below because I don't know enough about this, but it really interests me. So if you do know, I'd really appreciate an answer below, and hopefully on the next Monday video, I can come back to this question with some of your answers below. But that's all we've got time for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you know the answers, put it below. Anything you want us to look into, show, review, anything like that, put it below. We'll get on the case. See you in a week.